If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. This African proverb inspires Foundation's community partnership to foster collaboration among networks for special needs children, youth, and families in Bucks County. Welcome to FCP Conversations Online, featuring Bucks County nonprofit leaders. Join our discussion with community organizations that share our mission and are making a difference in the lives of our neighbors.
Hello, I'm Ron Bernstein, the Executive Director of Foundation's Community Partnership. Welcome to FCP Conversations Online, and thank you for joining us. Our guest today is Colleen Miller, the Executive Director of Child, Home, and Community located here in Doylestown. Colleen, welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Ron.
For our listeners who may not know what Child, Home, and Community is, could you tell us a little bit about the organization, its history, and its mission?
Sure, absolutely. Child, Home, and Community is a nonprofit organization. We were founded in 1980, and we're located right here in Doylestown. We provide services throughout Bucks and Montgomery counties to teen and young adult parents, and we provide those services in a variety of ways.
And so, let's talk about that. What are your key programs that you offer?
We offer childbirth and newborn care classes. We also offer family support groups, and we provide services directly in the school districts in Bucks County and some in Montgomery County to students who are pregnant or parenting.
Now, some of the childbirth classes, aren't they normally provided at the hospitals where people give birth, or what's unique and different about your situation?
Yes, they are definitely provided at some of the hospitals, but ours are different. First of all, ours are free. All of our programming is free to anyone who wants to be a participant in it. And our programming is really tailored to the needs of younger parents. So our niche that we serve is teen and young adult parents up to about 26, 27 years old. And our classes are really designed to be more comprehensive than what you would find at a hospital. We focus a lot on preparation for childbirth, but we also focus on what it's going to be like to be a parent, how your life is going to change. And if there's assistance that some of our younger parents might need, we help them to access that, such as, subsidized childcare or other agencies that could be out there that could support them through their new parenthood.
Well, tell us a little bit about this teen pregnancy area. I know some of the dynamics are changing now, but historically, are there many high school kids, or what's the youngest group of people you work with?
Good news is that teen pregnancy is on the decline, and that's not just within our own area, that's across the state of Pennsylvania. So we work with a number of other providers to service the students that are in high school that are pregnant or parenting. And throughout the whole state, teen pregnancy is down, which is a good thing. But there are still many students who are in need of services. We service about 60 students or so a year through that program, and that's in both of the counties. I would say those students generally are juniors to seniors in high school, but we do have some students who are on the younger end, sometimes as young as 13.
Well, how do people reach out to you or learn about the opportunities you provide? Do you have connections at the high schools themselves, through the guidance departments? How does that all come together, Colleen?
We do. We work directly with high school guidance counselors, social workers who work with the districts. We also work with the school nurses very often. So even if a school doesn't have an immediate need for us, we make sure they know that we're there should a student come to them and say that they need help.
I would imagine there's a lot of stigma that surrounds the issues. So how do you guys cope with that or navigate those waters?
There is, even in this day and age when teen pregnancy is not as unusual as, say, it was many years ago, there still is stigma when a student finds out that they're pregnant. And one of the things that our case management staff work on is working with their teachers and other, faculty within the school to make sure that those students have what they need, that they can get excused, from classes if they need to go to certain doctor's appointments, or if they have, a health-related issue because of their pregnancy and they can't participate in something, say, like gym class. So they do really work with the school. Some people are much more open-minded about that, and some people need some education.
Now, if you have a gal who has a baby during her junior year or early in her senior year, are they welcome back in the schools to finish their education? What goes on with childcare services and things like that?
So that's our goal. Our goal is that our students are maintained in their own school, in their home district, that they take a very brief, compared to a woman on maternity leave, time off to care for their baby shortly after delivery, and then they return back to the actual school setting. Our students do much better if they maintain their schedule in school rather than going to cyber school, say. But we work with them. Our goal is that they graduate on time, and we follow them through their whole time in high school. So if we pick someone up, as a freshman or sophomore or junior, we carry them through until about 120 days after they graduate.
Well, I know you also have a program or had a program that deals with the young fathers also. We're not always to blame for everything. So tell me about how that works.
We do. We still have our Fatherhood program. We have a Fatherhood coordinator who works with all of our dads. He works in all of the school settings. So we have less dads than moms. Oftentimes that's because the fathers are older. They may be out of school, and it's easier for the fathers to kind of remain hidden, if you will. It's not as obvious that they're going to be parents. But we do have Ron Husted, who works directly with our young dads. He case manages them, not unlike we case manage the young women.
And how do you reach out to the grandparents who maybe start off the process not being very thrilled, but hopefully are supportive and become loving grandparents?
It's definitely situation dependent. Some people start off, in a much more positive place than others, but we do work with the family. They do need to give permission for the student to receive services. So we will work with them about the benefits of being involved in the program. One of the things that we will make sure that the student accesses is subsidized childcare. Each high school student who is parenting has the right to access subsidized childcare through the state. So we make sure that all of those pieces are in place so that student can get back to school. That usually is one of the biggest concerns that the grandparents have is, how are we going to care for this baby? How is my son or daughter going to get back to school so that they can finish their education?
Well, you said that we're seeing a decrease in teen pregnancy. Can you explain the dynamics of that?
I think that's attributed to a few different things. I think most of the things that we see in our reading and research and from what other providers say is the access to birth control that young women have, and the fact that providers are willing to use the long-acting reversible contraceptive for young women, whereas before that wasn't necessarily the case. So since they're utilizing that, it's a lot more passive as far as birth control is concerned. You don't have to remember, that's something that's implanted and it's kind of just there, always working.
So schools and other organizations invite you guys in to provide education?
They do. We do a program called Teen Parenthood Awareness, where we work with the school districts. Primarily, we're looking at 8th, 9th, in some districts, 10th grade, to talk to them about the realities of being a teen parent. So we would reach out to those students during their health class, and we would talk to them about, this is how much it costs to have a child, and this is how much your life is going to change, and this is the impact to you socially, emotionally, economically, to really kind of dispel any, delusions that students might have about how great it would be to have a baby at a young age. Mm-hmm. It's very challenging, obviously, even for people who, plan for a long time to have a child. It certainly changes your life.
Well, who are some of the partners that Child Home Community collaborates here in Bucks County?
So we work with a number of other agencies. Our young parents are referred to different programs throughout different agencies. We work with Family Services Association. We also work with BCOC when we're helping our students to navigate housing issues. We have a newly formed partnership with the YWCA that we're hoping to launch after the new year. That'll help us to reach more parents that they're serving. We have a number of different providers that we refer out to that help us.
And where does funding come from for the services you provide?
Mm-hmm. So our funding is made up of state funding for the school-based programs that comes through Department of Ed and Department of Human Services. And then the remainder of our services are provided with the generosity of foundations such as yours, Ron, and also other area foundations and private donations.
So how do young parents reach out to you if they find themselves in this situation, they hear about your organization. How do they establish contact?
Well, we have our website, which is chcinfo.org. We also have a Facebook page that a lot of our young moms and dads message us through to get in touch with case managers. They can always call the office. We get a lot of referrals through WIC. So there's a lot of different avenues that even if people call and they're not necessarily a fit for what we do, we always make an effort to try and get them connected to where they need to be.
And if people in the community are interested in helping your organization, volunteering, providing resources, tell me how that happens.
It can be a number of ways. We have a lot of people who hold baby showers on our behalf. So they will collect baby supplies, do a wipes drive or a diaper drive. We are always in need of supplies for our young parents. We have other people who, give outright donations or volunteer in some capacity. We're always looking for people to help us support our mission because we're very small.
Okay, Colleen, you're 18 months into the job approximately?
Yes.
How's the transition going?
It's going. It's definitely been interesting learning, this whole other side of Bucks County, learning more about maternal child health and the needs that exist.
And since you've been in the area now for about 18 months, tell me, have you discovered a great restaurant in Doylestown or anywhere else in Bucks County that you love?
Well, so if we're taking a lunch, and it usually turns into a longer lunch when we go there, we like to go to Pag's.
Where's
Pag's
that?
Pub. It's right kind of on the main drag in Doylestown. So
okay. Do they have specials?
We can walk there.
Okay.
They have people like their burgers, but they have a lot of different things that are good there.
Colleen, I wanted to ask you, with the holidays coming about, special parties here in the holiday season and parties throughout the year that you do for your clientele.
So through our monthly parent support groups, which are called Building the Family, we have activities that occur throughout 6 different sites in both Bucks and Montgomery counties. And each month there's a different theme. So there's an educational piece that we do and also some fun. So if it's, Halloween, we'll have a Halloween party. The kids will come in costumes. If it's Christmas, we'll have, a holiday party. But we'll also have, different lessons that we have about parenting and about life in general when you're raising a young child.
That's great. Colleen, thank you. Thanks for the great work you're doing here in our Bucks County community, for joining me today to share your experiences and knowledge leading child home community. And thank you to our listeners for your involvement in our community. Visit our Facebook page and like us, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Join the conversation.
Foundation's community partnership believes that when we join forces, we're stronger. We are better able to support the behavioral health and human service needs of children and young adults in Bucks County. Join us again for FCP Conversations Online. Let's go farther together.